Hey sexy people, I'm Agent 99 and this is TMOTT TV.
That's the way we do it, y'all.
Now the vault on TMOTT TV is where we bring you old footage. Some of it you've seen before, but you know how nostalgia is? It gets us and we bring it to you again. But the other thing we do on TMOTT TV's The Vault is bring you never before seen footage. This is interviews that we've done over the years, things that you've never seen before, but we thought that you would want to check out. Such as this. Picture it. Summer 2003. TMOTT GoGo was really on a roll at this time, and we had just put out our first DVD. And a little-known author, Tahira Chloe Madi, that's yours truly, had just come off of a national book tour promoting God Laughs 2, of which TMOTT GoGo was a really big part. Now that generated a whole lot of national interest in this area, in our go-go culture. And what TMOTT TV did was kind of go out and get interviews. We were actually going to do another DVD at the time, but we have a lot of footage and different things to bring you. At this time, we hooked up with E. OP Tribe's E. E from OP Tribe. Now, colorful character. We love to love E. But this is something that we did summer of 2003. And he was actually really excited because he had just come off of a tour with Earth, Wind & Fire. He had a whole lot of really interesting things. Being an Earth, Wind & Fire fan, myself, all of you are, I'm sure, he was just so excited about this. And he also had a new CD, Chain Reaction. He talked about the state of go-go at that time. It's some really good stuff. You know E. Check this out.
It's Agent 99 for TMOTT GoGo magazine, DVD magazine. I'm here with E, who everybody knows from Optimistic Tribe, but he's been doing a few more things. I just want to get into that real quick.
Balling, baby. Balling.
I want to know about the radio show first. 97.5 WCPR? That's
Yeah,
right.
WCPR.
Okay. How did you get into that?
Well, I actually met the lady. Somebody else, I was actually somewhere, and a guy said, well, we would like to have a go-go show on the radio.
Oh, it's a go-go show.
Yeah, I mean, they want a go-go show on their station. That's not where they play music at. So it's WCPR 97.5. It's been real fun. It's definitely been a learning experience because we got to do everything fast editing and, you know, working with the, how, you know, we choose what we want to play on there. We don't have no format enough. So I can play whatever I want. That's been kind of fun, though. It's my first, I've been trying to get in radio for a long time, so it's like training on.
Tell me about, you've been on tour though, Earth, Wind & Fire.
Yeah, you know, being on tour with the Elements was just been probably the biggest blessing. I told them in the band, I told Verdine, my first day, I was like, if God would have came in and said, I'll give you any job you want, it would have been Dance Emotions for Earth, Wind & Fire. It's been like totally the greatest experience ever that I can ever say.
How'd you get in there though?
Well, I snuck backstage at the Warp Tribe.
Yeah, right. Oh, you did?
I'm not lying. She looked at me like I'm lying.
Hey,
now, everybody in my job looked at me. Everybody told me the same thing. Well, people who know me know I'm real good at talking. You know what I mean? So I snuck back there, whatever, and I had problems getting in. And I asked the drummer at the time, John Purvis, and so I was in the go-go band. And then he was like, come on downstairs. So I had met everybody in the band. I had met them before, but I got with them again. And I told them, since y'all staying, let me go see some go-go. So the next night, I took them to go see Backyard.
And how they like that?
They really enjoyed it. They were really impressed. They really was impressed with Backyard. I took them to see Backyard, and then as we were going home or whatever, the road manager was there with me, was like, man, I got a job for you, man. I got a job for you. You were the guy I need. Something I had, whatever, you know what I mean? I didn't think they was going to call me back. And he called me the next day. Actually, this is the amazing thing. This is how God's work. My car had got stolen in front of Dino's when I played on Thursday. And I was getting the police report filled out. And he called me on the phone from California and was like, you got a job? And I was like, you know what? Y'all go ahead and keep that car. I'm about it here.
Hey.
I don't need it. So when I first started playing, you really had to do something. You know what I mean? It wasn't no, right now it's just people get off, you can get anybody off the street. You sound like game. People hit some roller tones and, you know what I mean? But when I first started, you really had to do something. And it was really about entertaining or whatever. Because I really came at a good time, and I think for me, if I was being developed, when I came, Gaines had first started, he was out a couple of years. Chris from Northeast had just started, because he's playing the cowbell. And we came up from up under Bugs or whatever. So, you know, coming from him, he was a real showman. So we had to, you know, really put on a show or whatever. So I came from up under him, which was a good time to come up and GoGo.
So as a lead talker, what makes you different than everybody else?
I think being honest, I'm not afraid to be myself. I think people got really, a lot of people don't know who they want to be. You got talkers who probably don't want to do what they do, but they just feel like everybody else doing it, so I need to go on. I think the main thing is I'm not afraid to be myself. Like, I'm funny, so I just be funny when I'm on stage or whatever. Yeah, you know, got 90% of the talkers talk about I'm from the hood and, you know, I got my gun. Most of them ain't even from the hoods. And I could name names. I would name names, but y'all ain't even worthy. But, you know what I mean? But you got some people who just do it, you know what I mean? They just following leaders or whatever. And when I came up, when I first started talking, it wasn't cool to imitate nobody. You know what I mean? When we first came, Game was himself, Chris was himself, and I started out like the dude Brian from Hot Gold Sweat. And people used to, you know what I mean? So I was like, nah, you know what I mean? And one thing people gotta learn is no one's never gonna respect you being somebody else. You only get so much respect, whether people think it or not. You're only gonna go so far being somebody else. So I don't mind being myself. You know what I mean? Cool, baby. Got some jokes in here. You're pretty too.
Thank you.
Yes, you are.
I need somebody to say it about me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got plenty more of that. All right now, maintain now, girl.
Hold up.
This right here gonna be on bloopers. Put this on bloopers, Kato. We got one.
Yeah, well.
Take this on show. It's my boyfriend. See. This information.
But you know, I swear, it don't hurt my eyes to look at you while I'm doing this interview.
I appreciate that.
Yes, yes.
What makes OP Tribe as a band different than the other bands?
We ain't afraid of, you know, like Optimystic Tribe is one of the few bands, unfortunately, which is sad to say that we don't cuss, you know what I mean? But like sometimes we gotta, I mean, for me, as a person, as a musician, I always wanted to do music that had a purpose to it or whatever. Like, I think nowadays people really realize where GoGo came from and what the real reason why we do music. Music, and even being with Earth, Wind & Fire, you know, we do music to inspire people. You know, I've been inspired by other people. And now it's like people just like, you know, they don't know why they do it. But, I mean, we just try to have a good time. We're a real party band, and, you know, we're not cussing, you know, because, and doing that, we've been able to play on stuff that most bands can't play. Like, we play at festivals and play at a lot of places that most bands couldn't get at because they don't want the so-called rowdy bands. And that actually kept us along. Like, WPGC, which ain't the most supportive band for, it's the most supportive place for GoGo or whatever, still calls us every summer to do community events or whatever because we the only band that don't cuss. So that kind of helps us get along, stay along, you know what I mean, stay afloat because it's been pretty rough for us. We need it because the way it's going down, I'm just being honest, I think GoGo is really digging a hole for themselves. I think we really, and it may take another generation to dig out this hole because we really, this really crab in the barrel syndrome is really, really getting bad right now. You know, like, when I can honestly say, like, when I first started, it was a lot of love amongst the bands or whatever. Like, perfect example, KC from Junkyard plays in our band. I've known KC since he was playing with Superior Funk or whatever. So a lot of my band members that have joined me now, I've known through over the years of playing. I don't think you'll ever see that now because nowadays the younger bands are into showing that they got more than the next band. It's not a whole lot of love going on. It's a lot of backstab. It ain't like it used to be. It ain't like it used to be.
Well, I wanted to get back to something you said about covers, and that's been a big issue lately in the community. What do you think about covers? What's the upside and the downside of doing covers? I don't think it's that much of it. I don't think it's that much of an upside to playing covers. Like I was, you know, we talked earlier, whatever. I had run Earth, Wind & Fire to see Backyard, and when we got there, it was the second half of Backyard. Backyard played like a song. Lisette had played one of her songs, and they played like 3 of their original songs, The Chopper. And they played Rock the Boat. They played something else, like I think maybe Rock Me I'm Dead. They played, you know, Heard It's the Bomb with the horn shots in it. When we were going home, they were so impressed. And the first thing they said was, this is the first time we've been somewhere we didn't hear a band hitting. They said everywhere we go, we hear a band hitting cover tunes. Every city, it was just good to see something different. I don't think it's no upside to playing cover tunes.